Hey guys, Tyler here. This is Manufactoria 2022, a puzzle game about producing robots in your backdoor shed. So I just gotta understand the controls first. Alright, get the robot into the hole. I can fast forward it, that's very handy. I'm supposed to put red and blue stamps on the robot in a specific order. Thanks to the goal, it says red then 2 blues, so this could work. So 1 red, 2 blue. Run it. Neat. This level is predetermined belts, but I have to get the order red, blue, red, red, blue, blue. And they've introduced a pipe. Interesting, so is this just the multi-way conveyor? Well, it's a very simple path, at least so far. Let's see if this works. Oh, that is cool. Very satisfying. And now I gotta place the entrance and exit. Sure. I gotta go blue, red, red, blue, red. So I assume I can rotate this, yeah? Blue, red, red. Blue, red, and the hole here. This is sick. I could see how this builds into something very complex and exciting, but it's such a simple concept. Who doesn't love building robots in their backyard? I have to strip the robot of its commands? So how does this exactly work? Ah, don't drop the robot. Whatever you do, please. I see, but it moves it in the direction of the color it stripped off. And of course, it strips away the color. Very neat. Just do a simple one like this. I'm sure there's some optimization in this game that makes this design look like a joke. So I'll have to get creative in the future, but no need to in the tutorial. Oh, that's a lot. Casually remove 17 reds, then add 17 blues. Okay, let's see. Start with the robot. Well, I guess I could strip away the red and then add a blue belt in its place. So it kind of goes back and forth, and then it will read blue, so it'll go to the right. But notice there's also 1 fewer blue than the goal, so I've got to add a blue belt. We can keep it relatively compact in the 3x2 area. Hell yeah. Tutorial over, time to enter the real world. So what's gonna happen is a ton of robots are gonna be made. Some of them will have red, some will have blue, some won't have anything. And what it wants me to do is accept the robots that have either a red or a blue, and then junk the ones that have nothing. Neat. This is similar to the previous, except I gotta accept robots that start with blue, then blue. Can I rotate this? Oh, I can rotate this. Well, this is very simple then, except I gotta junk the rest. Lots of incinerators. Send it. Did it run 1,000 tests? I mean, I guess I am in a factory now. Except the robots that have both red and blue. Interesting. I actually don't know how I would begin here. I mean, I guess I begin by peeling off something. Because there's a lot of weird edge cases, right? Like, what if a robot has 10 blues and then a red? How am I gonna see that coming? Well, I do know if it has nothing, it'll be burned. Well, I have an idea. If it's blue, I could then run a test where it keeps checking if there's blue. And if there are blue, then I can just send it back like this. Yeah, I'll keep stripping off the blues. And then if there's no reds, it would always burn. But if there is a red, then it's good. And then I can just do the equal but opposite thing on the other side. Like that. This is super cool. Dude, this game is just dopamine for my brain right now. What's this? Test mode. Produce a robot with red, blue, red on its tape. So I could just input the information on it. That's gonna matter, I guess. All right. I'm excited to see how that actually plays into puzzling. Now I have a test that could have a fail state. So it seems like if the very first thing it reads is a red, then it's just burnt. So I could just implement everything but the first red. Would this work? Ooh, wrong. Oh, I forget this strips a blue away. So it strips a blue away, and then there's red, blue, blue, and then it adds a red. That's what I was forgetting. This is super cool. Some people may need a story or a reason to justify producing robots, But to me, producing the robots is the reward itself. Why would I need a story when producing robots is just so cool on its own? Accept robots that enter with an even number of commands. Junk the rest. Test mode right now just seems optional. It might be helpful for like visual representation, but I do most of my work in my head. I think I can actually make this a loop, right? So it'll check for tape, and if there's 0, then it's even, so that's good. If there's 1 in either direction, it will check. And then after stripping 1, if there's 0, that means there was 1 to begin with, which is odd, which is evil. And then the rest just need to loop around. Like that. 4,000 robots produced using this method. I guess I realized the more efficient your machine is, the more robots you'll produce. So maybe if I want more robots, I gotta be more efficient. Like, the last thing I want to do is stay on a level, like an easy level, for the longest time trying to eke out the smallest of implementations. Interesting, except robots that have an odd number of reds and an odd number of blues. Maybe start it here. Decision point. Then I want to try something different. What if I have a belt like this, or a chooser? Because think about it, if it goes left, then shows up on here. If there's nothing, then I can send it back here, which would send it into the burning. That's basically the same thing, but with less space. And I can just make sure that double red still leads back to the start, because I still like that idea. I could do exactly the same on the other side. This is much more efficient. So then here's something kind of interesting. I could actually delete this little tube in here with an incinerator here, because I know that both of these have 1 odd and 1 even. They can just be combined. So I could run an entirely separate set of tests on them. Maybe like this, you know? If there's nothing else, I can accept it. And then if there's another red, I would have an even number of reds and an odd number of blues. Let me actually reverse that, because then I could feed it into the thing that has the even number of reds, or sorry, even number of blues and odd number of reds. Yeah, that's starting to work. And then I could kind of do something feeding back into the previous selector, just like that. Because if it has an even number of reds, oh wait, nope, that sends it into the acceptance, not to the incinerator. Can I have red send it back? Is that the catch? 1 red, 1 blue. 2 red, 1 blue, 3 red, 1 blue. Yeah, so if it comes back, it would have 3 red, 1 blue, and if it has nothing else, then it could be accepted. If it has nothing else here, it gets incinerated. And if there's another blue, then it has 2 red and 2 blue, which is even red, even blue, which is exactly the same as the beginning. Well, I mean, this should just work. I bet this could be optimized further. I want to optimize this one further, though. Oh, yeah. We would have seen an issue now. I bet this could be optimized. Kind of like, oh, I can look at stats. So ideally, oh, I can have a smaller area, faster time, and fewer scanners. Oh god, there's global stats too? Now I really want to optimize this. Okay, well, I wonder then if this could be done better. I could maybe even get rid of these. Now hear me out, all right? Blue sends it this way. Why don't I figure out if blue can send it back? I can keep the tunnel. If there's nothing extra, you can save it here. But what from red? Well, then there's an even number of reds and odd number of blues, which means that I gotta get from here all the way over to this stamp. And the most immediate solution I see right now kind of looks like this. Bam, that's a 25 area. Does it work? It does, but look at how much unused space I have. So I'm curious why I don't have the metals for the scanners and stampers in the area sections. Clearly, I have the metal scores. Do I need all of them to be at the metal score? I misunderstood metals entirely. I thought you need to have a single factory with all 3 of these requirements, but no, you just need to individually get those goals, and then nothing happens aesthetically to these boxes. So I got all the metals I could on this level. I spent a long time trying to see if there existed a solution that fit all 3, and maybe there is, but I didn't find it. So what are you gonna do? I've learned a lot, though. What's this level? Junk robots that enter with any red on their tape? Oh, that's easy. Like, super easy by comparison. Like, you just have a single splitter with a belt that feeds back into it for blue, and red makes it burn. And if it runs out without hitting red, it's just good. Oh, yeah, much easier. Did I get the metals for it? I could have a smaller area and faster time. Oh, well, I have an idea. I could just have the robot start here. That's smaller area. I don't think it's faster time, though. Yeah, how on earth? Well, I guess you could get time without getting the other two. Yeah, I can make a funny one that is really large, but could work for time. So I'll start with this on an edge. Burn it if it's red. Except if it's nothing, and then just kind of take another one of these. I could just have it feed back and forth if it's blue. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's a little bigger, but it should be just as fast, or fast as possible. Show me the money. Let's go. Next up. Eventually, I'll have to go back and get the medals for the ones I missed, now that I know it exists. But now, junk robots that enter with any blue after red. Interesting. Start with the robots. We'll have a splitter. And I think the first case is this. If I get blue, I'm going to send it back because I don't care about blues before red. And if it runs out of inputs, then it's perfectly good to go. Red, though, is where it starts to become interesting. So if there's blue after red, I should incinerate it instantly. If there's no blue after the red, it's good. And if there's red after the red, then you just have it try again. That looks like it'll work. Absolutely nailed it. Ooh, I could be more efficient in time and area. Well, getting area 9 to work actually seems really easy. All I gotta do is delete this and then turn this scanner around like that. Run it. That's the one. And time is gonna be just a totally different design, but I can absolutely do that. So once again, I've got to have blues just feeding into each other back and forth forever. And I could do something where red feeds back and forth into one another. Looks like this. So these are both spots for red after blue. Sorry, blue after red. I'm gonna take this, move it down just to make my life easier. And then I can have red feeding back and forth forever like this. And if there's blue after red, you burn it. Both this one, or it might be just that one, I don't know. That just needs a happy hole over here. This actually might not need a happy hole, but I should just have one just in case. I feel like this could use its own closer happy hole, right? Probably. Doesn't hurt. Come on, show me the money. That's the money. Just took 6 holes. This factory is basically a sponge. So now, accept only robots that enter with 3 blues in a row anywhere in their tape. So start. Have a weird chooser. If there's nothing, then you junk it. If there's red, then you give it another chance. If there's... I think you can set this up here. There's 1 blue followed by nothing. You just junk it. If there's red, you can basically send it back to the start. I guess this could just be a right-facing treadmill. And if I wanted to, I could actually have the start be here. And then I just need 1 more chooser. Except this one has to send reds all the way back. So this might be not be the most time efficient, but it would have to start from the beginning. But it is pretty space efficient. It seems reasonably time efficient. How'd I do? Oh, that just got all of them. Even beat the time one by 1. That's sick. Let's keep moving on. The door opener. On a giant factory floor, so I can accept robots with 3 reds or 3 blues in a row. Hopefully that's an inclusive or. Let's see. Well, I feel like I could do something kind of similar. Yeah, I'm just going to ignore time right now because time can be ignored. Who needs time anyway? This gets 3 blues in a row. Doesn't this have some edge cases? Because sure, if I go in either direction 3, I'll hit this. But this doesn't send me back to the start. Or like, let's say the robot's here. It would have had to have a red first, but then it has a blue. So 1 blue entering here, which is already different because usually 0 blues enter here. Then it gets another blue, 2 blues entering here. And then say it gets its 3rd blue, which should be good. But say if it runs out right after that 3rd blue, it goes into the trash, which is bad. So I need a system that sends it back to a different place if it gets a red. And then what do I do with multiple blues in a row? It's simple. I could just have a belt coming out of this in both directions so that if I get a color on the opposite side of where it's supposed to be, it could just loop around to the belt where it's meant to be. Let me show you what I mean. For example, if I have a splitter here, this red could now just come and meet up with the belt over here where it's meant to be. Same with the red over here. I mean, this is an obscenely long journey, but this covers pretty much every case. This is obscenely long because now I have to do something similar for the other side. Yeah, this is beyond ridiculous. But you know, whatever works, works. I'm pretty sure this works, just slowly. Yeah, it works. How did I do? Oh, 5 scanners and stampers is best. My area and time are terrible. Who would have thought? I feel like I need to area first. I'll tell you, this seems ridiculously hard though. I think I was onto something with this idea, where this is the one red in a row, this is one blue in a row, and they feed into each other just beautifully. So if I have 2 blues in a row, is this what I would want to do? No, I can't have it feed back into there. That just doesn't work. Would have to do something more absurd. Like this. I mean, this is very absurd. Definitely not space efficient, I'll tell you that. I guess I could just do something different. Like this. This is way more space efficient. You know, so what if this hits the white arrow? It can go on this belt, then go in here, and then it can just be burnt here. This is space efficient. Probably don't want to do it exactly like that, but mostly so I can have this go up for 1 red. Because really, I only have 1 loose thread now, and that's just this singular red. You do something more like this, and then have the start be here, the tunnel, this going this way. So now I've got singular blue coming back to here where it works out. Now I only have double red. I almost want to get rid of this. Leave it here, okay? Gonna move this up again. I mean, there's technically still room for all of it. It's just very slow. Because what I can do here is a splitter, where if I have 3 reds in a row, it can go here, or 1 blue. Just means that the belt goes back this way. Hold on, do I need much of this then? Do I even need this column? Mark these, bring them down. I just need this to be different. Wait, no, does this just not work? Yeah, what's the problem here? Damn, I was overthinking that. That's an overkill in the area. All I need is faster time. I could try to work with this one for a better time. Let's see, what's the slowest one? No, it's the maximum amount of time going around that. I think it might once again make sense to just do a different factory for this. So I've got a setup I've tried to make work a few times before. It's faster than the previous one. It just leaves these 2 loose ends. But now I'm not too concerned about area. So one thing I'm gonna try is taking these loose ends. Kind of looks like a dude, actually. Looks like Kanye in that one music video. But I was just thinking about taking these and running with them. So this coming up into here would be 2 reds. If it's another red, then great, you've won. Same with this. If it's another blue, great, you've won. I realize this, though, needs to be taken up 1. But then after these, I think they're just gonna go off in their own direction. Kind of like this, actually. So here's the logic, all right? Coming into this, there'll be 1 blue in a row. But if it's followed up by a red, I can just have it go down to the 1 red meeting point. Otherwise, I'll do some incinerating. Same with over here. 1 red in a row going into this. But if there's a blue, it can go back to the 1 blue meeting point. So then coming up, I got 2 blues in a row. And if there's 1 blue, it could win. A little awkward, gotta make a tunnel going up to incinerate. And same with over here. If there's another red, it can win. But if it fails, this is a single red. And then if I want, and I do want, I can just go back to the single red meeting point there. I mean, I could tighten that up if need be. But it's certainly an idea. It's a giant heart. That's a success. And 24 time. Love to see it. How do I compare against the world? Not bad. Ooh, some people were able to do this with an area of 20 or less. Damn. And some people were able to get a faster time. I mean, this is super cool. I had to end this on the W because this is the end of the section. Let me tell you, this game is hard, especially trying to get all these medals. So I hope you're all excited for a future challenge. Have a wonderful day and peace.